popular segment that we actually led the show, Dale, with the fact that you've got a 4 popcorn rating streak that we hope continues today. Good morning, sir. It's good to see you.
Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Jackie. Great to be with you.
I'm sorry that I missed these 4 popcorns last week.
Yeah.
It sounds like it was really exciting. I'll have to go back and watch all of these.
It was unusual. I'm rarely that generous.
Yeah.
We know.
We like the fact that you're in a great mood watching these things. You're reviewing 3 titles that are available to stream on Netflix now. Let's start with the first one called The Taste of Things.
Yes, this is an unusual film. It takes place in France in the 1880s, and it's about one thing and one thing only, and that is food. The entire film is Juliette Binoche cooking dishes that a group of French gourmands eat. And that's basically what happens in the movie. The food has never looked better. This is Gourmet Magazine come to life. And Juliette Binoche gives a lovely performance as a cook who really takes time and attention in crafting what these people will eat. And it is kind of the birth of gourmet cooking. And there's no real dramatic tension in the film, which is why I'm afraid I'm breaking my streak and giving this 3 popcorns, because nothing dramatic really happens. But if you love food and if you love fine cooking, it's hard to find a better movie than The Taste of Things.
Okay.
All I wanted to do after seeing this film was go out and go eat. And so it is really a tantalizing appetizer to what could be a great meal that could follow this film.
So you go catch a matinee and then go catch a nice
food.
dinner afterwards.
Yeah.
I think that's a good
And go
plan.
to a nice restaurant where the dishes are going to be crafted in the way Juliette Binoche crafts them in this movie.
That's true. Yeah, difficult to compare to that, especially if you're streaming it on Netflix, watching it home, and then you're eating like a PB&J or something.
Hot Pocket or something, yeah. Or popcorn, for that matter.
Yeah.
3 popcorns.
3 popcorns.
3 popcorns, okay.
Okay. All right. Up next is The Zone of Interest. I haven't heard about this. Tell us more.
Yes, it's a little known film, but honestly, it's my best film of the year. No other film walloped me like this one did. It is the story of the commandant of the Auschwitz concentration camp during World War II, and his family. They live in a house just outside the walls of the concentration camp. And it's like he's a businessman going to work, and very faintly in the background, all throughout the movie, you hear the trains arriving and leaving with concentration camp prisoners. You hear shots, you hear screams. It is one of the most brilliant soundscapes I have ever heard created for a film. It's just outstanding. And it makes The Zone of Interest very unsettling, because this family is leading a very normal life 30 feet away from people who are being gassed and tortured. And it's very hard to reconcile these 2 realities. And The Zone of Interest does an amazing job of doing that. Jonathan Glazer, the director, makes 1 film every 10 years.
Oh, wow.
So he worked 10 years crafting this. And I think it's the most brilliant film of the year. It's clearly not going to be for all audiences. My wife couldn't get through this film. It is deeply upsetting because it's about the banality of evil. It's how evil can coexist with us just a few feet away, and it's doing just fine on its own. So this film really rips the wound off of Holocaust deniers. The performance by Sandra Hüller as the commandant's wife is incredible. She also stars in another German film called Anatomy of a Fall. So this is a big year for her.
Yeah.
Very big year. Zone of Interest is really about what we don't see. And that, to me, is what makes it such a fascinating movie. I mean, this is my #1 film of the year. It's not going to be for everybody's taste. It's going to be hard for some people to get through. But I think it's an example of really superior storytelling and filmmaking that just leaves you emotionally bereft by the end of the film.
Dale, I saw The Boy in the Striped Pajamas a number of years ago. I know the subject matter is similar. It's a different perspective, it sounds like, this time. How would you compare the 2 films?
Well, one is you're in the concentration camp for the whole film. And this one, you never go into it. It's just what you hear. And what you hear can be so upsetting. It's interesting that how much sound can affect us, even if we don't have the pictures to go with it.
Right.
So the sound is constantly in the background of this film, and I think that's what makes it such an innovative and brilliant piece of movie making.
Really quickly before we move on, popcorn rating, I'm assuming four here?
4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd give this 5 if I had 5.
Oh, excellent.
Wow. All right.
All right, what about the next Netflix feature, Boy Swallows Universe? This sounds interesting.
It is, and I just took a chance on it. I hadn't read anything about it, and it's very involving. It's an Australian series. It's set in Brisbane, Australia in the 1980s, and it's about a young man whose family is falling apart. His mother is a drug addict. His father is long gone. It's him and his brother, who it sometimes is mute and it very rarely ventures to speak. And so you're saying, well, how do I get involved with this family? And the series really pulls you in. The young actor Felix Cantanas, he plays Eli. It's one of the best child performances I've seen in years. He's the driving force in the series. And it's both entertaining, it's exciting. You don't know what's coming next. It was very unpredictable, which is fun these days because so much of the content we see on streaming is very predictable. This series constantly surprised me, and then it does something very radical at the end. It takes a child and all of a sudden bumps him up into adulthood. So the final 2 episodes of the series are nothing like the earlier ones. And again, I enjoyed that. I didn't see it coming. So for me, Boy Swallows Universe is one of the more interesting and little-known series that's streaming on Netflix, and I found it very dramatically satisfying.
Okay,
All right.
sounds great. Your popcorn rating, Dale?
4 popcorns on this one.
Okay, so pretty
Three-
good scores today.
3 and 2 4s.
Yeah, we had
Yeah.
two 4 popcorn movies and one movie where it's really good to eat.
Okay. Perfect.
Perfect for a
to look at the
Friday.
weekend. Yeah.
Dale, thank you as always. Here are those titles one more time. All streaming on Netflix again. The Taste of Things, The Zone of Interest, and Boy Swallows Universe. You can always find Dale's past reviews. 2 different ways to watch on the WXI YouTube page in our Movies in Review playlist or on dalempolick.com.